Today, I will be showing you guys the ultimate guide for Modern Warfare 3 zombies. Starting off with the menu here, the most important thing about following Modern Warfare 3 zombies is going through and making sure you have the best gear. How the gear and the loadout works is essentially you have an insured slot, and your insured slot is whatever weapon you would like to keep. Because I've beaten Act 2, I actually have a second insured slot, so if I wanted to add the Magna, and honestly, the best weapons that I've found so far in MW3 zombies are the RPK and the Deagle. Those are really strong, making sure that you're in here. But I can literally add even one of my stashed weapons. So if I equip this and then literally make this my my stashed weapon, I can literally add it in that spot. So you have your tacticals and your lethal. I always say grab monkey bombs. They're the best, but you have to get them in game. So if you can't find a monkey bomb, I'd recommend running the stim. And then after, the best lethals are the breacher drones, but if you can't unlock those, just frags or Semtex grenades. And then the field upgrades are really good. The thing is you have to make sure you see this recharge rate. The medium recharge rate on the energy mine is honestly what makes it so powerful. You can just put it off. The zombies are very difficult to kill in this game mode, so it's really good. Frenzy guard is really good for solo. Healing aura lets you heal teammates and revive them probably like 200 meters away from you, which is pretty good. Frost blast is not bad either. You get it back pretty quick too, but it helps you slow down the zombies. I think energy mine is better though. And ether shroud is pretty good on solo. Tesla storm I have not unlocked, but I think it's probably going to be only good in co-op scenarios. But I would highly just recommend energy mine for the most part, frenzy guard, and healing aura. These three are absolutely the goats in this game. But let's talk about the rucksack. So I have a large rucksack that can hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 items in total. However, when you start off, the small rucksack is going to look like this. You can go to your strike team and start a whole new operator here. And let's say I start with like, okay, this dude right here. This is only going to give me a small rucksack, and what's cool is you can actually divide your team and actually have them up in here. So if I equip this guy and go to my gear, I'm back to my small rucksack, and all I have is 5 slots, and that's really bad considering that if I equip this guy, I have back to 9. And so the way you lose your rucksack is by fully dying out. When you down in this game mode, you don't lose your perks. It's when you fully die out. But if somebody revives you before the match ends, you can keep all the stuff you have. But let's talk about acquisitions and schematics. So while you're in the game, you can find schematics which allow you to basically craft things that you find in game. Ethereum here is for rarities. The hour is about 2-hour cooldown to 8-hour cooldown. It can take a while. Then perks you can also find here. I have quick revive, deadshot, and daiquiri that I found. I have not found a lot of these other ones here. And then we have ammo mods here where I have brain rot and napalm burst, but these three I have not unlocked either. And then wonder weapons. These you can find by farming the mega abomination in the tier 3 hardest red zone, and they spawn in every 48 hours. But if you get this, make sure you exfil, because that's the only way you can keep these schematics. And then afterwards, once you have done all the schematics, you can get acquisitions, which is stuff you find and loot in game. And so here you can see I have a ray gun. The thing is though, is that if I use this ray gun, it will be instantly gone towards the next game, and then it won't be able to be extracted. Wonder weapons are only single time use, which is I think kind of garbage. Your stash will always be 10. That amount that you have will always be 10. Rewards are stuff that you get extra from doing the story missions. So here I have some ammo mods. The best perks I would recommend to put in here is obviously get stuff like the raw ethereum crystal, which can pack punch your weapon, or perks, or brain rot is just amazing on this. Napalm burst is also really good for taking out zombies as well. And so it's wild that changing your operator also lets you change all that other stuff. And here's my gear information right here. If I were to click on my gear, this is what I have: the large rucksack, a kill streak being the precision airstrike, the 3-plate armor vest, which again you have to buy for 10,000 in the tier 3 zone, both the 3-player armor vest and the large rucksack. So that would be the first thing I would recommend doing once you're getting in. Gas masks are really easy to find. Sometimes you can find that in the Exfil area. And if you ever want to farm for camos, just continuously spam the Exfil area and you will be able to get it. Then I have the self-revive kit, and that's pretty much it for the gear and the customization. For the story though, also if you click L3, you can activate all the XP for weapon rank and battle pass. Obviously I don't have the battle pass because I didn't play MW2, but here we have the story missions. You're going to be on Act 1, and once you complete all of these on an act, you get a special cutscene and a special actual story mission, which is really cool. And once you complete all 3 of them, you get some amazing rewards as well. So I'd highly recommend you do these. However, they're very difficult. For example, kill 20 zombies with a sentry gun. You'd have to go into the map, go into the tier 2 area at the buy stations. They have better loot once you go farther into them. And then you would have to buy the sentry gun, go to where there are mercenaries like mercenary camps, or go to the ether nest to take out the zombies, and then do that. And that is one mission. And sometimes they require you to exfil, like right here, exfil with the quick revive recipe. So if you have to exfil, that means you have to only do that mission per game. And so me beating this was probably already like a massive amount of time, probably like 15 hours. And I know Milo, Mr. Rothwaffles, beat all 3 of these acts. And altogether, it's about 2 hours of content stretched to 30 hours, which is really not that great. But obviously also, I would recommend never playing on squad fill. You want to always make sure you're playing with friends. This is first and foremost not a solo mode whatsoever. I really need to stress that. This is unplayable on solo. This is more DMZ than it is zombies. And as you can see here with the minimap, here in the tier 1 area, you have your gray stuff, which just allows you to just go through the easiest zombies. They're very low level, like round 4 zombies. Then tier 2 gets into the round 20 zombie area, and then the red tier 3 zone gets into that like round 50, round 70 zombie area. These guys are so OP. You can get even the tier 3 pap in this area, and it will still be too dang weak for you to be able to do it and get through any sort of aspect of the game. But let's actually talk and dive into the gameplay here. So for the gameplay here, the way this actually works is that it's all based off of what you spawn in and do. So right now, you can see on the top left that I'm in the tier 2 area. The only reason I'm able to do this is if you look on the weapon on the bottom right, I have a green weapon with a pack punch ability and cryo freeze. And so cryo freeze is a very good pap ability when you just need to slow them down. But the thing is that you need strong weapons. This shotgun that I'm running is really good. Like I said, some of the best weapons in this game so far from what I found are shotguns, even the Deagle pistol, some LMGs like the RPK. You're going to want to run those type of weapons like you would expect like in Black Ops 1 to be the best bullet weapons. Run those weapons, and then the way this game works is that you spawn into the tier 1 area around the map, and the way it works is that you have to spawn in and do contracts. And so right now I'm doing a contract, and I'm also fighting an infested stronghold where I'm trying to get into this area and do it. And anything you see on the blue in the minimap is the way that you do the contracts. And so the contracts are what give you money. In the tier 1 areas, they give you 2,000 points each. In the tier 2 areas, they give you 3,000, and in tier 3 they give you 5,000. So it's the way you basically make your income. The best contracts I would recommend would be the elimination contracts, because you can do them extremely fast and just be able to get money quickly. You literally just take out a boss. And then the second one I would recommend also doing is like the spore ones. Those are easy. The ether reactors, the outlast, any sort of one of those trials are the easiest. There's some like the cargo escort, which are just way too long, and they're going to take way too much of your time and effort. Remember, you only have 45 minutes to play each match until 15 minutes at the end. You have the ether storm moving in on you, and you can obviously loot and grab perks and stuff. What I recommend is stowing a lot of your stuff. What you want to do is not use it, because the thing that doesn't carry over across games are perks, pack-a-punch, and points. There is a way to use the tombstone glitch, however, to transfer points back, and there's a way where if you just die in the tier 1 area where you died close to where you spawn in, and just make sure that you have a ton of points, you can just grab your tombstone stash for the next game and just get a ton of points right off the hop to get you suited into the tier 2 and tier 3 areas. If you're just starting off, however, I would not recommend doing the tier 2 or tier 3 areas. Do stuff like this where I'm doing, where it's like I'm in an ether nest and you have to shoot all the spores in the building. Do stuff that makes it easy for you to be able to get out there in the tier 1 areas, and you get all this money from doing contracts. Don't try and find a lot of loot. The only type of loot that I'd really recommend picking up, don't pick up any common loot. The best loot is literally perks, double pack punch abilities, key cards that you can get either from the buy station for 2,000 to open up stronger strongholds, which give you better loot. You can pick up some better weapons from the safes as well. The paid stash contracts are really good for that. You can also pick up monkey bombs and any sort of other equipment and armor plates. Obviously, these are things you want to pick up. However, and also rarity tools. The thing is that it's very difficult to do any upgrades with rarity in this game mode because rarity is so freaking overpowered. It is absolutely insane. And some of the best perks I would also recommend is stamina up. However, I do wish that it was like the Cold War version where you could run super fast, and also PhD needs a buff as well. Make that the Cold War one, will be good. Speed Cola is, however, just so amazing in this game. It lets you play up faster, and Juggernog is pretty much useless because of that. Juggernog is literally so bad in this game. I would highly recommend your Juggernog basically just being plates. That's all it is. So just focus on getting plates. Focus on plating up. Try not to get hit from the zombies. Run stamina up, run speed cola. Make sure you're faster than the zombies, and you'll be able to get rid of them and take them out. And that is what is all important about this. When you're grinding the story missions as well in this game mode, one thing that you're really going to want to make sure that you do is make sure that you're in a squad, because if you're in a solo team, look at me here grinding the tier 3 Shatter Blast right at the spawn area where I get bullied right in the water trying to shoot them down and basically just get Shatter Blast to take out armor pieces off the zombie. The reason why I'm showing you guys this clip is because of the fact that it is so unbelievably difficult to do any sort of grinding in this, and I would highly recommend, if you have any challenges like that, just go into the water, swim out, and just shoot the zombies wherever you need to. The tier 3 zombies are great for farming, and even if you can't take them out, double pap abilities in this are the king. I would highly recommend Elemental Pop as well, because Elemental Pop is just unbelievably goated for what you need to do in this game. But ladies and gentlemen, there's also a crazy way to get a ray gun schematic that you can build every time, and here's some gameplay of me fighting the Mega Abomination practically with a Perkaholic here and a tier 3 upgraded RPK, and this is how I was able to instantly take out this guy, and this guy gets you the better loot. Sometimes it's better just to grind the tier 1 areas where you can get the best loot there, but for the most part, grinding through and getting up to tier 3, you're going to get your best loot ever. You're going to get Pack-a-Punch straight to tier 2, tier 3 Ethereum crystals. You're going to get some amazing perk drops as well. The Wonder Fizz is also inside the tier 3 area, and all the perks only cost 2,000 points, which is really good considering this is based off the Outbreak point system. And obviously, if you find any recipes, bring those back, because if you find the ray gun recipe, that means you can craft it every 48 hours once you're inside the game. Always make sure you're equipping self-revives, because that's such a great way to come back and help your teammates get clutched up and be able to do all the contracts. But just make sure that you exfil every game. There's always an exfil that comes right when the storm blows up or is about to go, so make sure you always grab it and make sure you fill out your inventory fully. You can destroy schematics or acquisitions in the menu if you pick up anything bad, but that is basically the gist of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Honestly, I think the main Easter egg is just following the story missions where the grind can be tedious, but you can do a lot of different things to get the cool new cinematics for this game, and I didn't expect Modern Warfare 3 Zombies to have this. Sure, the lore is not that great. Round-based, I definitely think is better, but the grind in co-op here is pretty fun. I just hope that this does not overshadow round-based zombies. And like I said, make sure while you're playing this to exfil a lot and extract, because when you down, it hits hard in this game mode. You lose literally everything. You're going to have to get your plate vest, which again costs 10,000. I wouldn't even recommend the tier 2. Go into the tier 3 buy station and grab that. Make sure you grab the large rucksack. Make sure you're doing as many contracts as I listed before. Kill streaks are really not that great in this game mode. However, you can equip them across the same game. The one best one I would probably recommend would probably be the Juggernaut one. That Juggernaut kill streak can instantly take out the Mega Abominations, and that can give you the fastest way to get the ray gun schematic. Obviously, there's gas masks and all of that, and the gas mask doesn't really matter. They're really bad. Honestly, the gas mask needs a major buff because it's just so difficult to be able to do certain Ethernests and challenges and stuff like that. If you're wondering about perks, I would highly recommend not even bothering getting perks. Let them come to you. Find find them in the contracts. Do what you got to do. Make sure you're always in a vehicle to go into each contract fast, and always make sure you're studying the minimap and pinging and looking for things. And I would not recommend playing with randoms either. Play with people that you can talk with, and this game mode will be an actual fun experience where you can grab a bunch of contracts, and the grind is really cool where you can become really weak right at the beginning with literally nothing and get to this incredibly strong perkaholic tier 3 rucksack, 3 armor plates, tier 3 weapons, everything. The progression in this game mode on co-op is a lot of fun, and if you're doing the story missions, they will give you recipes as well, so make sure that you're doing that. I did hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I tried to cover absolutely everything in this guide as well. There's turrets around the map as well, and if you get turret chips and allow those turrets to go off, that is literally the best weapon in this entire game. It sucks because I wish wonder weapons were better, but they only ever last one game, so I would highly recommend not even trying to hit for the mystery box. Play it like Cold War, upgrade your main weapon to the absolute best that it can be, and that is pretty much it. Make sure also you are not going out from your teammates. Play with your squad. Do the same story missions all together, or you are just not going to make it far. And make sure, like I said, if you're starting off, do not go into the middle of the map. Do not go into tier 3. Take your time and be able to gear up first, and then be able to go all the way. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in that next one, baby.